Welcome back to Girls Unscripted, everybody. My name is Carolyn.
And my name is Kate. Thank you for tuning in to another exhilarating episode. We were supposed to be, I always spill our secrets in the first 2 seconds, but my secret today is we were supposed to be in person, and I had to text our group chat this morning and say, guys, I don't think I can make it in today. Carolyn can vouch. We had a bit of a crazy toga party at my house over the weekend, and these days hangovers last more than 24 hours.
Good Lord. On Sunday, I did nothing with my life except not regret what happened, but relive what happened in my mind, because Saturday was so fun. It was Kate's boyfriend's 30th birthday, and they had a toga party, and it was so fun because the invitation was like, I wasn't in a frat, so this is gonna make up for that. So they got a keg, there was drinking games. I felt like my best sorority self, but I also realized I am not quite as young as I once was when I was in a sorority. But we did do keg stands. Kate and I both did well at it too.
I would say so. And if you follow our Girls Unscripted Instagram, I posted the photos of our faces after we got down from the keg stands. It wasn't our prettiest look, but I'm so proud that we did it. Yeah, Dan and I were both like, he was like, have you ever been to a toga party? And I go, no. And he goes, yeah, neither have I. I'm like, let's have one. Because we wanted to do something special, right? And then we said, oh, well, let's get a keg. And then, okay, we can only play music from like 2008 to 2016.
Yes.
And yeah.
It was amazing.
And red Solo cups and drinking games. And now that I think about it, is that a recession indicator?
Oh, shit.
I've been seeing all these TikToks of like, this is a recession indicator. This is a recession indicator. Is the fact that we had an early like 2000s kegger a recession indicator?
Most likely. But it's not our fault. It's just an indicator.
It's just an indicator. It's just we're dropping hints left
That's
and right.
not on us. Yeah.
But no, it was really fun. We had a great time. And then months ago, I was asked to keep a secret. And here's the thing. I'm a great secret keeper, but I hate keeping secrets. I don't like, knowledge is power, and I don't like having that type of power. You know what I'm saying? A couple months ago, Dan's parents call me and they go, we want to surprise Dan for his 30th birthday. Will you help us? That's a big surprise that your two parents are going to fly in and they're going to get a hotel, and then we're going to have to, like, I had to basically like convince Dan to go out to lunch with me and then tell them where we were and where we were sitting, and then they came and surprised him from behind. Like, Dan said, he was like, I knew something was off because you weren't forming sentences like at the restaurant. He was like, you just kept saying the same thing over and over again, and your eyes kept like shifting to the door. He was like, I could tell, but you know what? He couldn't tell until we got to the restaurant. So I was very proud at how well I kept it together until then. But I never want to have that kind of responsibility ever again.
That's so cute. Lunch is a hard one. Was it hard to get him to go to lunch with you?
Well, it was just a little difficult because it was originally, he was supposed to go out to lunch with his work. And his work was going to take him out, and then his parents were going to meet there. But he ended up working from home. So I had to be like, hey, can you just stop working randomly at 1 p.m. and come out to lunch with me on your not actual birthday? Because his birthday was Friday, and he wasn't working Friday. So I think he thought that there was a surprise happening on Friday, when really it was just, nope, just your parents are in town.
Which was an even bigger surprise. Do it the day after.
He was really happy, though, and it was funny, like Dan's mom was very excited to meet you, Carolyn. She kept saying, is your podcast co-host going to be at the party? And this was a really big weekend for Carolyn, because not only was Dan's mom, a fan of the show, really excited to meet her, Carolyn also got recognized on Friday night. Oh, give it up for Carolyn, everybody.
Oh, gosh, Catherine, you make me blush.
It's a big deal.
Let me tell you, when I realized what was happening, I literally blacked out, lost my voice, was so excited. I think I scared her when she came up to me to be like, are you Carolyn from Girls Unscripted? I was like, you have no idea. This has never happened to me before. This is amazing. Can we please I was begging her for a photo.
You were her fan.
I was her fan. I wanted to hang out with her all day. And I was like, I literally blacked out. I didn't get her handle. In hindsight, I panicked.
The texts she was sending were almost incoherent.
Almost manic, definitely manic, very sweet as well. I was just, and I mean, it was nice to know that the universe is like, it's just it's nice and it's weird to be like, oh yeah, someone listens to this. Like people do listen, because I always just feel like I'm just talking to Kate during it. And it's like, oh man, maybe I should be careful of what I'm saying. Because if they're
I know, it's like, oh shit. It's like, or it's like, we know people listen to it, but it's like our friends, our family.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, yeah.
Having like a very sweet person that came up, she's rewatching Vanderpump Rules with us. She's like, it's my 5th time to rewatch it. So she has like a whole ceremony around it to begin with. Just, it was fantastic. And thank you for being a gabber. You're listening right now. I know you're here. And at no less, she saw me at the most magical place on earth, Dave & Buster's.
The fact that it was at Dave & Buster's is actually the icing on the cake.
The Dave & Buster's prize section, to be more specific, we were all cashing in our tickets, getting our 3 mini bags of candy, because that's all you can get for $60 worth of tokens at Dave & Buster's. It was fantastic. I am a changed person, and I'll still be humble, but less humble.
You walked away with the biggest prize of all, recognition. That's all we can ask for. And look, here's the thing. We love doing this, but I feel you, Carolyn, it's like sometimes I feel like we're just talking to each other. So it is a nice reminder, like when you do get recognized, it's like, wait, we're doing something. And
we're
like,
doing
people
something.
Listen, and they like us, or they hate us, either way.
Or they hate us. Yeah, even had she come up and been like, fuck you, Carolyn from Girls Unscripted, I would have been like, this is amazing. Can we take a picture? I'm so excited you know who I am.
Yeah, fuck you, Carolyn, you're a bitch. Wait, you know my name.
Yeah, I'd be so excited. I would invite them to my family holidays. I'd be so excited.
That's awesome. I also want to give a quick shout out to another gabber. Her name is Mackenzie Taylor Rosenberry. I meant to give her this shout out last episode and I forgot. Do you know the DM that she sent us?
Yes. Wait. Is it the same one? There was a girl that sent us a DM about episode 10.
Yeah, about because Carolyn answered it. Carolyn and I share the Instagram, and then we got all wrapped up in it. So basically,
I totally forgot. Oh, I'm so sorry. But thank you for remembering this.
Yeah, it's okay. So Mackenzie also just DM'd us and gave us the tea about how the whole beer over Katie Maloney's head thing was reshot. So we weren't breaking any news there. Mackenzie also knew, but just wanted to give Mackenzie a shout out because we said we would.
Yep, and we did. It was an episode later, but it was in an episode nonetheless.
Other than that, The Valley is going to be airing soon. Look, I'll be honest with you guys. Normally I love to come in here and just tell you all the reality TV tea. I loved having Dan's parents in town, and I loved planning his birthday, and I loved, celebrating Dan's birthday, but I have been so behind on stuff. The only news that I know is that Brittany Cartwright was supposed to have her own bar, Brit's Bar, and she announced it about a year ago. It was going to be connected to the Rocco's in West Hollywood, and it just came out that that is no longer happening because the Rocco's in West Hollywood sold.
Oh, and this economy, that's, you know what that is? That's a recession indicator. If Rocco's can't survive,
if Rocco's in West Hollywood cannot survive, how are we supposed to?
I don't know. That's a shame. I remember when we talked about that. We were like, yes, go Brittany. This is your time. But did she say why?
Well, so they never, so basically it's not happening because she was under the impression up until very recently that it was happening. She was buying stuff for it. She was decorating it. And then she recently found out Rocco's sold. So she only had the space because it was connected to Rocco's. Well, now that Rocco's sold, she doesn't have space anymore. And they didn't tell her about it. They told her about it after they sold it. So she's kind of like, what the fuck? I bought things for this.
I guess that is a lapse in operational communication. Who lets the girl know that you had the deal with? I guess anyone should have told her.
Right. And she does say, she was like, look, I was honored to be a part of this to begin with. Like, they can do whatever they want to do. I just feel like I wasn't in the conversation whatsoever. Which
not
I'm
in the
with
group
her.
chat. Yeah.
She was not in the group chat. She was left out of the group chat. But Jax's is connected to a Rocco's. There are other Rocco's around LA. So maybe she'll hop onto another one. Personally, I think this is a blessing in disguise. Why do people keep opening bars and restaurants? It's not easy. You're going to lose money. The fact that Jax's has been open as long as it has been is actually pretty crazy.
Okay, yesterday when I was so hungover, I literally watched Real Housewives of Atlanta for about 12 hours straight. And in it, Todd, Candy's husband said something so interesting because he was like, man, they already had 2 restaurants. And he was like, when are we opening the 3rd? And Candy was like, slow your roll on the restaurants. Like, why are we opening restaurants? And he was like, because I've never made as much money in my life than I have via restaurants. And I was like, that is the first time in my entire life I've ever heard someone say that. Because normally I hear money pit, like despair, just really hard work and labor to even get the thing, to get any return after like years of work into it. So
maybe it is just like high risk, high reward.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
I mean, I'm sure, Lisa, it's working for Lisa Vanderpump. Not all of her restaurants have flourished, right?
Yeah.
But like Villa Blanca closed, but she still had CERN Pump and probably other restaurants in other places, you know?
And then Pump closed, but you know.
Then Pump closed, but now she's opening more in Vegas and the one in Tahoe, which Tahoe is still like the most random fucking place. Like, I still don't understand the whole Tahoe thing, but
we have to go there someday.
Just for the bit, we have to go to Wolf by Lisa Vanderpump. But yeah, so who knows? We'll see what happens with Brittany. There is a Rocco's by my house, so I am crossing my fingers and toes.
I would do Rocco's Culver City.
That would be so far from her in the valley, but not my problem. It would be close to me.
But you know she'd be there. Y'all could become best friends.
That's what I'm saying. Like we could work together.
Yeah. Help scratch each other's backs.
I'll DM her.
Yeah, please do. Did you watch Southern Charm Part 2?
Yes. Go ahead. Talk to me about it.
I didn't think it was that great. It was more of the same. Craig DeLulu, that Paige and him were on the same page about their life. What did surprise me was Vanita being so distraught the whole reunion about JT. And then Andy Cohen was like, well, would you date JT? And she's like, yes.
Or like, do you want to be friends with him again? Yeah. It's like you're literally sitting here calling him like basically a piece of shit from across the thing. And then you're like, yes, I want to be his friend. You're bringing him drinks to his room. Like, what is the deal with this man?
I don't know. I mean, short king is all I got to say. It's a thing.
Allegedly. And Vanita's mine is short king. That is something I'll never understand. Yeah, the second part of the Southern Charm thing, some of these reunions don't need 2 parts. Like if Southern Hospitality only got 1 part, Southern Charm does not need 2 fucking parts.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot this season.
Save the part for Southern Hospitality.
Yeah. I feel like for Southern Charm, there's always another episode just to cover all the shit that happened not on camera.
Yeah.
Like the breakup and like what happened with the friendship between seasons and stuff like that.
What I did think was sweet that they did was in this second part of the Southern Charm reunion is kind of reminisce on the first 10 years of Southern Charm. I mean, it is a big deal that they hit their 10-year mark. It was the first time Miss Patricia was ever at a reunion, which I found to be pretty interesting. And I like how they celebrated the show and themselves. Like, I like that sentimental stuff. It is a big deal. I mean, to have anything go for 10 seasons in this economy is a big deal.
It's a big fucking deal. Give it up for Southern Charm. I agree.
Good for them. Yeah, and then Summer House. It's a good season.
Yeah. Lexi was upset about the toe.
As she should be, by the way.
I'd be upset about the toe.
I'm team Lexi, dude. No, but here's the thing. I feel like she's not even that upset about the toe, but more so upset with the fact that what Jesse's saying to Ciara when she's not there. And I think she's directing her anger properly. I do.
Oh, I think when she sees how bad it was with Jesse and Ciara, she's going to flip. Because I don't even think she understood. Because she was like in denial about it. Like, but they're brother sister. They're just brother sister. And
because she trusted him.
Yes.
Because that's what he told her and she believed him. It's not her fault.
Yeah.
Ugh. Jesse Solomon does fall into like the typical Bravo trope of like he's being an asshole, but I still kind of love him.
Can't help but love him. Yeah.
Also, real quick, I know you don't watch Survivor this season, but it's my PSA for anyone. Like, there's still time to get started on this season of Survivor. It's so good.
Can you give me a spoiler alert of what happened in the episode that had all the teasers of like Jeff Probst cries for the first time?
Okay, I will actually. So there is a castmate. Her name is Eva. And she opened up to one other person that she had autism. And she's younger, maybe like early 20s. And she opened up to this guy in like his 40s. He's a dad, whatever. So we, the audience, knew that she was autistic. No one else really knew. Mm-hmm. She was explaining to this older guy, Joe, when I, you know, when something triggers me, if I get overwhelmed, blah, 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 I need you to just squeeze my hands, bring me back down. Like, she taught him how to help her. At the end of this challenge, she was getting so overwhelmed and she just couldn't do it. Finally, she finished the challenge. She did it. She won for her team, but I don't even really know how to explain it, was just going through something. Like
sensory overload or something?
Exactly. Like hyperventilating, couldn't catch her breath. She was just so overstimulated. And it went on for such a long time. Like, it was like, she was just like, and finally, Jeff Probst was like, Joe, do you want to go over there? Because they were on different tribes at the time. He ran over, he grabbed her hand, he's calming her down. It was like so beautiful. We watched him calm her down. She then gives this big speech she tells everyone, you know, I'm autistic. The doctors told my parents I would never be able to go to a normal school. I would never they were like, the most that they can hope for me is to marry someone that also has autism. And my parents never gave up on me. And she gave this beautiful speech about her parents. And then, like, by the way, I'm like sobbing at all of this anyways. And then Jeff Probst loves to be like, people at home are going to watch this and they're going to listen. He says that, and he says, you know, maybe there's a kid at home that has autism that's watching this and sees you and realizes that they can do that. And then he starts to cry. He's like, you know, I'm a parent and I would want my kids to see that. It was just like a really beautiful moment. And there's also a guy that has a speech impediment this season that it's just like it's so good. And not only that, it's brutal gameplay. Okay,
really?
It's brutal gameplay. Like sure, Eva's going through this and it's like a beautiful moment, but next episode they're like, I think we need to vote Eva out. Like,
damn.
It's a really good season all around. I really enjoy it. There's a lot of blind sides, beautiful moments, and cutthroat moments. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I mean, Kyle and I have tried and tried and tried. Maybe we'll try with this one.
I get it, though. It's really not for everybody.
I don't know, but we love the challenge.
The challenge is more like kind of fun house drama, though. Like, no one's getting drunk on Survivor, you know?
No, but in the challenge, they hardly get drunk anymore.
I know. What's that about?
Yeah, what is that about?
So they don't need to get drunk to bring drama on the challenge, though.
Yeah.
Like Challenge All-Stars, you're watching?
Challenge All-Stars, they do drink more on that one, I feel like. It's like old school people.
Dude, fucking Nicole is basically cheating on her girlfriend with Melissa right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, she's not going to talk about not going to play well when the partner sees it.
Well, I heard that they are no longer together.
Okay, I understand that.
Anyways. All right. Vanderpump Rules. What do you say?
The Ultimatum, baby. Let's go to episode 10, season 2, titled The Ultimatum. What a great episode.
We pick up on kind of a somber note, okay? The episode starts at Stassi's birthday dinner that Katie Maloney has just ran out of because everyone was kind of coming at her. And I feel for Katie because I understand that these people might think that she's just being dramatic, but like everyone is yelling at her. Everyone is making her feel like she's the worst person ever. And by everyone, I mean her best friends and boyfriend. I don't understand. And like, she was fine and they all brought it up. I don't understand why this is like Katie's fault.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, don't blame Katie for having feelings. She didn't want to do this at the table. She even said, she was like, I tried not to. You can't help how you feel. Feelings are facts. Like, they're how you feel. So, like, don't shame her for it.
Also, why the fuck is no one yelling at Tom?
That, right? Like, I feel like that was a whole thing this episode of like, why aren't we getting mad at Tom Sandoval too? Like, we're getting mad at Jax. We're saying we can't work with Ariana. Why don't we get mad with the dudes?
The 100%, the anger was so misdirected in this episode. It's like everyone's mad at Katie when they should be mad at Schwartz. People are mad at Jax when they should be mad at Sandoval. People are mad at Ariana when they should be mad at Sandoval. It's like, I just don't get it.
What's going on? And even this, I was glad that Schwartz, I guess, finally apologizes. But it's one of the few moments you do see between them of Katie and Schwartz where like, oh, they do love each other. Like they do really like each other. And I think a lot of their relationship happens when they're alone. Like,
I
I feel
agree.
like there's a lot of the way they relate to each other and companionship and stuff that's like just between them. And I think that's why maybe we have a hard time seeing it. But sometimes you can kind of get sneak peeks like this.
I completely agree with you. I had that same thought while I was watching. So basically, Katie was truly berated at this dinner. But Stassi is over her, yelling her like, that was traumatic. Tom goes out and he's consoling her on the swing, and he is apologizing. And I felt like he actually did have a decent apology for Tom Schwartz. And you know, they have this beautiful moment, and she's like crying to him and saying like, "You are everything to me. You are everything to me." And they're hugging, and like, I agree. It's like you don't really get to see those moments, but it was important. I also saw this TikTok. I've mentioned this TikTok before, but it's basically just saying how Katie just went through so much in the beginning of the show, and how we also kind of forget that she's not that many years off of a traumatic fucking brain injury, okay?
Yeah.
So she acts this way. She almost died not that long ago. Like, I just feel like she gets absolutely no grace at all, but we kind of end this scene on a better note because Tom apologizes and says, under one condition, you promise to have a good time tonight. So that was sweet, I guess.
Yeah.
We do a quick check-in at Sir, because obviously, just because they're all away, Sir's still going. Ariana is working, and she is absolutely killing it. And basically, everything at Sir is running so smoothly because the drama's all gone.
Yeah. Lisa should really just fire everyone except for Ariana.
If Lisa was a good businesswoman, she needs to just fire everyone.
Yeah, but I guess she's being a better businesswoman for the show to not fire everyone.
Different mindsets, different businesses, I guess.
Yeah, but this show is definitely a foreshadowing of someone getting fired soon. But, you know, who? I just, you'll have to guess.
You'll have to wait and find out. Then we pop back over to the hotel. Stassi is being a fucking drama queen, and now she's crying because her birthday was ruined, and she's crawling into bed saying, "No, I'm not going out tonight, no." And Sheena, of all people, I even hit the microphone there a little bit because I was so shocked.
She was animated.
Sheena, of all people, is the hero and pulls Stassi out of bed and gets her out of her funk and says, "No, you're not ruining your birthday. We're going to go out. We're going to do a little night swim, and we're going to have fun." And that's what they do. Here's the thing. Sheena means well. Sheena means well.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've always said this. Sheena does mean well. Does Sheena love herself? Yes. Is she vapid? Yeah. Vain? Yeah. Other things, self-centered? Yeah, she's those things too. But she's not actively trying to be a mean person. She's always actively trying to be a nice person for the most part.
I think that the times that she is being mean, it's because she's triggered by somebody else that was being mean. It's like, well, if you're going to be mean, I'm going to be mean back. Like, it's kind of like that. Like, I do think she tries, So I don't know. It was a nice scene between the two of them. Meanwhile, the guys, at first I was like, the guys are all out at a fucking bar. Then I realized they're probably at like a resort bar in the hotel. So they're out at the bar and they're drinking. And Jack says, "I think I'm going to leave and go check on Stassi because we're kind of vibing this trip."
I don't know what it is. We're kind of vibing.
I didn't know that vibing was in like the vocab that many years ago.
And the vernacular, but I'm so glad it was.
So Stassi is topless in the pool. What else is new? Just in public. First of all, are there other people staying at this resort?
I don't know. And they kept saying like it was nighttime, but it was very bright. It didn't look like night.
I have not seen one other patron at this goddamn resort.
Yeah, I have no idea if they shut it all down or like, where are they?
I have no idea. So she's topless in the pool, and Jax decides this is a good time to have like a serious conversation with her. And he says to Stassi, I feel like, we're kind of vibing and you're being a little flirty. And Stassi says, no.
No, absolutely. No. Nice try.
Yeah, she's such a bitch, but it was in a good way.
Well, because she said in the scene prior that she's done trying to be a good person. Because what does that get her? Nothing. She tried to be a good person for her birthday, and what did that get her? Nothing. She should rather be a bitch. So bitch she's going to be with Jax.
She did say that in the previous scene, but then the scene before that, she's literally hovering over Katie with her finger in her face, screaming at her.
I know.
So, I don't know if you're as good of a person as you think you are.
Well, then bitch she'll be.
Bitch she'll be.
And the night's already fucked, so why not throw the biggest grenade you possibly can and get the dirt and to the bottom of the truth of whether Tom and Ariana did something in Vegas 2 years ago.
Did you feel like this was kind of random and out of nowhere? I'm like, we haven't talked about this.
Field.
Yeah, I'm like, we haven't talked about this at all. Here's the thing about Vanderpump Rules, though, and it's the beauty of it. It's just, they maybe talked about this last episode. Maybe that's Stassi's goal all along. I forgot because 4 million other things have fucking happened.
Yes.
And I can't keep up.
And I think Kristen, she's always like a dog with a bone if it's something that she can't stop ruminating about. You know that she's probably been saying this over and over and over.
True.
We saw last 2 episodes ago in the restaurant when she like fucking went insane because of these rumors. So I don't think they've gone very far from her head. And they're probably sick of hearing about her talk about it too. They probably were just talking about it in the pool or something we didn't see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so much other shit's happening that it's almost redundant. Like the audience doesn't need to see it again. We get it. Kristen's obsessed.
Exactly. So in this scene, Stassi does get Jax to reveal that he did in fact tell her that Sandoval and Ariana fucked. And basically he's like whispering it to Stassi as if he doesn't have a microphone on him.
I just find it so funny because Jax has done this a few times this season now where he's lying about what he said to the person he said it to as if like that's the most gaslighty thing you could do to anyone, being like, oh, no, that's not happening.
You literally looked at me in the eye and told me, and now you're being like, what do you want me to narc on my friend? It's like, you already did, dog. Like, I'm just reminding you that you did.
That you did, so stop lying. But she's like, you're lying. You are lying. You're lying.
He's crazy.
He indeed was lying.
So then we end up back into Stassi's hotel room, which first of all, what time is it?
That's what I'm saying. Where are we? I don't know.
This is all happening in the same night as the dinner. Like, it must be 4 a.m.
Yes. But also, wasn't it light outside? Or is it dark when she does the naked swim?
It was dark.
Oh, I thought it was light.
But
okay.
they had like camera lights and stuff, but it was dark. But it's kind of like, it could be like sun is starting to rise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like they've been up all night. The girls are like up in the room and they're like drunk eating. Katie's there, so I guess everything's okay. And then this is where Stassi tells Kristen about Sandoval and Ariana. Kristen breaks down and is sobbing, but not one single tear is shed.
Mm-hmm. But you know what is shed? Tequila. Straight from the bottle. That is the first thing she asks for. Mama knows what she needs, and Mama needs tequila.
She's taking shots of tequila out of champagne glasses.
By herself. Yeah. Multiple.
Like,
I think we just saw 3 to 4 within a few seconds.
Yeah. And Stassi in this scene is like, Kristen, I don't understand what you're so upset about. You know he's a liar and a cheater. Like, you know he's a cheater. Like, why is this such a surprise to you? It's weird. It's weird. So yeah, Kristen's slugging shots.
So meanwhile, Scheana decides, because, you know, she's a man now. She's been gangbanged enough that she is now male and goes to the boys' room.
This is the next day.
The next day. And launches the grenade back at Jax, throwing him under the bus for admitting to Stassi that Jax did say Ariana and Tom had hooked up in Vegas. And I thought that was so well played, Scheana.
No, Scheana is a producer plant. Let me tell you about it. Last night at dinner, she makes Tom and Katie rehash their fight. This morning, she goes in the room and says, wait, what did you tell Stassi? Because there was some... It's like, I feel like the producers are like, Scheana, go ask Jax about what he told Stassi last night. Like, and because if it wasn't for Scheana, this story would not be driven. You know what I'm saying? She is driving our storyline right now. And like Scheana said, this is Jax's karma for him tattling about her gangbanging joke. But
yes.
Anyway, so now we head out to the pool. And this is, again, the day after last night when all that crazy shit happened. Kristen slugging shots. She looks absolutely horrible. Like, she is so hungover. She has her sunglasses on. She already has a drink in her hand. And she decides, I need to talk to Jax about what he told Kristen, or what he told Stassi. And she says to him, Jax, I have been such a good friend to you. Why have you kept this secret from me? I just can't help but think how insane this is that they're having this conversation after they've already fucked each other.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Like, I've been such a good friend to you. How could you lie to me like this? It's like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that aspect. Yep.
So then basically Jax, Tom, Stassi, and Kristen are just having a 4-way talk about this. And Tom and Jax are both denying everything, even though a mere 6 hours prior, Jax admitted all of it to Stassi. My favorite part of this scene was Sheena and Shay walking up to the pool while they're talking about this, rumor. And they walk up to the conversation and hear that they're all fighting about whether or not Tom and Ariana fucked. And have you ever seen the Homer Simpson meme where they go back into the bush?
Yes.
That's exactly what they did. They stop, they hear what it's about, and then they just slowly walk backwards and kind of smile and laugh to each other. And it was a funny, cute scene between the two of them.
Yeah, but they are cute. They have that scene where they're on the pirate ship holding the wheel together, and it gives us Jack and Rose.
Yeah. No, totally. It is really cute. All I could think about during this scene was that Jax gets away with so much. He's blatantly lying to everyone, and he's really not even getting that much shit for it.
Well, he is, I feel, but Tom Sandoval is standing right there. And they barely even acknowledge that Tom is standing right there.
That's a good point.
When this is about Tom.
Yeah.
Why aren't we looking to our left, people?
That's
Hello?
a good point. It is such, again, misdirected anger. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I felt bad for Kristen when she said, I feel like every day is a gut punch. And he's like, I'm sorry. But, the way that he's denying it, here's the thing. If he actually hadn't have done anything with Ariana, no person in their right mind would stay with their girlfriend who won't let it go for this long. If it actually hadn't have happened and your girlfriend accuses you for 2 years that it did, and that's not enough for you to be like, okay, if it can't work out, then it's not going to work out.
Right.
What is?
No, that's a really, really good point. Yeah, him staying with her and constantly being so defensive is kind of a telltale sign that maybe he did
Maybe something happened.
But yeah, so then, like you said, Kristen puts on this huge show. She's crying. She's saying it feels like she's repeatedly getting punched in the stomach and she just can't do this anymore. I still can't say this enough, all the while she fucked Jax. But it did make me feel bad for her in this scene. She storms off. She's crying. No one follows her. The girls don't care. They hop in the pool. They're eating their burgers. My favorite part was Kristen storms off. Everyone just goes about their day. And then Kristen comes back. She's like, hey, I'm fine. Was just alone for 20 minutes, but thanks for checking on me. It's
oh my
Kristen,
God.
No one cares.
The alone for 20 minutes is so fun. You know that she had a timer on and she just pressed start the second that she was alone. And once it hit 20:00, she ran back out to say, I've been alone for 20 minutes. 20 fucking minutes.
They're so fucking dramatic. Then Kristen decides, she says, you know what? I know what to do. I'm not going to break up with my cheating boyfriend. I'm actually going to call Lisa Vanderpump and give her an ultimatum. Either Ariana gets fired or I quit. I don't know how that is the solution in her mind, but that's her solution. And that is why this episode's called The Ultimatum.
Yes, because that seems like the most productive action Kristen could take at this very moment in Cabo, Mexico, was to call her boss back in Los Angeles and force her to talk to her bartender to maybe get her fired, which I was surprised Lisa even entertained saying anything to Ariana, but we'll get there.
Well, if she would have said no right away, then where's the story?
That's true. That's true. Again, businesswoman.
She's a genius. So then we head over to the Booze Cruise pirate ship, which the water was too rough, so they couldn't go out, which same thing happened to me when I was in Cabo. We rented a yacht for the day, but the water was too rough, so they were like, you can just come on the boat, but we can't take you out. But it would have cost the same. So we were like, well, no, we're not going to pay hundreds of dollars to just stand on this boat. So
that sucks.
Yeah, but so that must be a common thing for them. But they ended up looking like they had a great time. Everyone's getting along, everyone's partying, everything's going well until Jax Taylor shows up with 7 to 8 girls. Randoms. How did he think this was going to go well?
He knew it wouldn't go well. Kate, of course. That's why he did it. He thought it was going to go well. Do you know how pissed he would be if this did go over well? If
That's
he did
true.
bring 8 girls on the ship and Stassi was nice to them.
And there wasn't a reaction.
I'm so glad that you're bringing new friends on the boat. Oh my goodness, Jax. The antics, I cannot.
We need to find these girls and get like their POV on what actually went down that day. Like, I just need to find one and interview them. Like, can you please give me the play-by-play of exactly what happened the entire time you were on the boat?
I love how incredibly awkward they looked. I could feel it through the screen, how they're like, we're gonna go.
Well, I can only imagine that he was, first of all, was Jax out at a bar alone?
I'm sure he was.
And I can only imagine that he was like, yeah, my friends are all on like this yacht or this boat. You can come, we have free drinks. Like, I bet he really sold it to them.
Yeah, they were like, we didn't know it was her birthday.
Yeah,
Like,
and
this
maybe
now
they
feels
thought it was
weird.
like a boat full of dudes. You
Yeah,
know?
he probably just said, oh, we rented a ship, come back to it. But it wasn't like for a specific person, let alone his ex-girlfriend's birthday.
Right. Because I can't imagine of all 7 or 8 of those girls, not one was like, maybe this isn't a good idea. Like, they definitely did not know what they were getting into.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised when they were like, we're gonna go. And they walked off, that Stassi was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like they understood each other with the eyes of like
Totally.
what was happening. Sorry, girl. Didn't mean to.
We do get like a quick scene too in this, like a, in between commercial scene, still on that booze cruise, where they play Spin the Bottle, which I think it's so weird for them to all be playing Spin the Bottle when like most of them are in relationships, but whatever. And Tom have to kiss each other on the lips twice. That won't be the last time we see them kiss each other.
I was gonna say we're gonna see that again, and as Tom said, it will be the highest stakes game of Spin the Bottle they have played. I thought it was funny. Yeah,
it was a goofy scene.
Would I do it now? No.
Depends
Maybe
on
when
how
I was
many
like
drinks I had.
24. Yeah, yeah, and I'm married now, so it's a little different.
I mean,
I'm
they
like,
are just like pecking each other on. It did seem harmless, and they were
It did.
younger there. It's like
oh,
whatever.
totally, no judgment at all.
Yeah, but so then we do pop back on over to Sir, and they have 200 reservations that night with 3 servers, which actually does sound insane. Lisa sits Guillermo down and tells him about the ultimatum that Kristen gave him. So now Guillermo's in the loop, and they decide to pull over Ariana to talk about it. And Ariana did say something where I was like, the confidence, damn. And I'm still just like, but you did.
Yeah.
She says to Lisa, if I wanted him, don't you think I would have had him by now?
Yes.
You did, though.
But she has had him by now. And at first I was like, okay, I can maybe see herself separating from the reality that they did something in Vegas 2 years ago. But from what we just learned a few episodes ago, they probably made out at a porta potty at Coachella. So this has been an ongoing thing, most likely. So that's not a defense here.
Yeah. Oh, man, I almost forgot about the porta potty.
Yeah.
And we've seen those porta potties at Coachella.
They are not the most romantic location.
No, horrible. But basically, we learned in this scene that Ariana does not want to leave Sir, and Lisa doesn't want her to leave. So
Great.
it's going to be an issue.
Uh-oh.
So then we pop back on over to Cabo, and they go to a bar called Squid Row. Now, Squid Row is like the Cabo bar. I would say I'm 95% positive this is the Laguna Beach Stevens scene.
Nice.
I did go to Squid Row twice, actually, when I was in
cool.
Cabo. It is so touristy. Now, granted, I went to 2024 Squid Row, maybe not 2014 Squid Row. But it looked and seemed pretty much the same. We did the Jello shot, boob grab head thing, which ended up, we did maybe 6 or 7, and then she gave us the bill. It was like $150.
That sounds about right.
For Jello shots. But guess what? Let me tell you something, folks. If I can give you one piece of advice, it's this, and listen closely. Don't expect them to make your Jello shots with distilled water or whatever water you're supposed to drink in Mexico. Filtered water. We were like, the next morning, absolutely down for the count. All of us. Montezuma's Revenge, throwing up. It was the worst, and it was our flight home. And we were like, what could we have eaten that we hadn't already been eating? And we were like, the Jello shots. Jello shots are made with so much water. They had to have just made them with tap water.
But it's made with boiling water, so all the bacteria would have been boiled out.
Is that true? Is that right?
I think so. I honestly have never made them. I have only consumed.
No. Trust me, I made them a bunch, and they are made with boiling water.
That's why, like on Survivor or whatever, like they have to boil the water. It's like, no, we can't have it till we have fire because we got to boil the fucking water.
Well, fun fact, they do give them regular water.
Well, this
now,
is
so
what
they
I
don't
thought you were
dehydrate,
going to
but-
say. So okay, I'm going to say it, and you listen closely, okay? Don't expect there to be alcohol in those Jell-O shots.
And that's another thing. I wasn't even drunk.
Do not expect anything to be in those damn Jell-O shots.
It's a lie.
Yeah, it's all like we did an all-inclusive for my bachelorette party. And I mean, it was just a joke because I mean, we did 14 shots. It was we were fine. It's not it's so watered down.
Carolyn, I thought the same thing when they're like getting all the alcohol like squirted into their mouth. It's like it will do nothing to you. Like it truly will do nothing to you.
It is actually safer than actually going to a bar.
I actually left more hydrated.
Yeah.
Like I drank more water there than I did anywhere else. But you know what? It is fun, okay? And they're having a good time, and and everything's going great again until Jack shows up with 3 girls. I can't tell if they're 3 different girls or if they're the only 3 that were left over from the girls before. But Jax walks over to Stassi and apologizes to her. She has a visceral reaction. Chills are sent up her spine when he whispers, "I'm sorry," in her ear. And she basically is just like, Jax, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
She may be being a little bit dramatic, but in my opinion, she's right. It's weird. So if you're on a group trip with all of us, stop. We already yelled at you once for bringing girls. Granted, him bringing girls to a bar is a little different than him bringing girls to like a boat that they paid for. But still, like, you knew what was going to happen.
Then just don't come on the trip. That's what I mean. Like, his argument isn't really valid here because he's like, but we're single and you told me I could do this. You're single here on her birthday trip. And I know he said, that was yesterday, babe. Like, your birthday's done. It's like, no, the trip was dedicated. She organized it. You weren't even invited to this trip. Like, you are, in fact, ruining it yet again.
Yeah.
I too, would just be like, get the fuck out. Like, when he left with those girls, I'm sure they're all just like, thank God. Like, go have fun.
Yeah, Jax is the type of person that he would like go somewhere like a to a destination wedding, and if the wedding was on a Saturday, he would propose to his girlfriend on Friday.
Yes.
And be like, "Well, it's not your wedding day. We're just in beautiful whatever." Which is kind of like what Sheena and Brock did with James.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't there some plot line about that in Vanderpump at some point?
So Stassi's all upset, but Jax takes this as her caring about him. But even so, he leaves and he goes back to the girls'
Toxic.
hotel.
Sorry.
What'd you say?
I just had to yell toxic.
Yeah.
Toxic.
Oh, I mean, come on.
Crazy.
Even so, he leaves and goes back to the girls' hotel, and I can only imagine what goes down there, but I don't want to.
We don't need to.
I don't want to know.
We don't need to know.
And we know.
But
He
we
used
do.
the condoms that Schwartz gave him.
Oh, God.
Stassi and Sheena have a very nice moment at the bar. It seems like they're friends again.
Woo.
Meanwhile, Peter is doing a shot out of a girl's asshole, basically. You can't even make this shit up. That shit was not happening when I went to Squid Row. Let me tell you that. See, that's
something I would do. It was in a shot glass.
No, it was funny, but I was like, damn. They just put, like, bravo, you can air this?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then Katie and Kristen go to the bathroom together, and they kind of have a pep talk about Kristen breaking up with Tom. And Katie is very supportive. It's like,
you can break up with your
you
boyfriend.
Can do this.
You can.
It's
it
very
is indeed
like
possible.
It's very girl power. Like it was great.
But also with a girl hitting her with some hard truth of, I can't keep supporting you if you don't make decisions that better yourself.
Yeah.
It was almost like, if you don't do it, we're going to have a problem. And guess what? They have a problem.
So, we leave the bar upbeat, and Kristen's going to do it. She's going to break up with Tom.
They're going to get off the same mobile plan. It's going to be fantastic.
Except, uh-oh.
Where's Kristen?
It's the next morning, and we can't find Kristen anyway. She's not in the room.
Where'd she go?
I love how they're like, we have to go find her. Where is she? Where the fuck do you think she is? There's only one other place she can be, you guys.
And, yep, there she was, rustled and tussled in Tom Sandoval's bed.
So they go to Sandoval's room. She's there. They absolutely barge in like the fucking SWAT team, and they are screaming at her for sleeping with Tom. Could you imagine being woken up like this?
Yeah, this was a lot. It was a lot.
And I understand they're upset. And here's the thing. I want to tie it to, I'm sure Kristen talks all the time about how she doesn't want to be with Sandoval, but she just can't break up with him. She doesn't want to be with him, but she can't break up with him. I don't want to dump him. I'm going to miss him. I love him, but he's so bad to me, blah, blah, blah. And as friends, they're probably sick and fucking tired of hearing it. Either break up with him or don't. Like, I do think it's seeming like Katie and Stassi are being a little harsh, but I think that they've just heard this time and time and time again. And she does the same thing in a later season with Carter, where they start yelling at her on camera of like, if you're not going to break up with Carter, then stop fucking talking about him.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a pattern that Kristen deals with.
I do think their frustration comes out of love for her for whatever reason. They do really love her. I think Kristen, the second that she had it confirmed that, okay, she did do something with Ariana, that she almost self-sabotaged because she wants to prove that she's really the one Tom wants. It's like to herself, she kind of undergoes this manipulation of like, well then, but who has him now? And who wants me now? You know, like, I don't know. I feel like it was an ego thing that she was dealing with to get back in bed with him because she was just really, really, really upset and has been really, really upset for years.
Interesting. Yeah, she wants to win.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like she lost and she wants to win the battle.
Yeah, wow. You're definitely spot on about that. You're spot on about that. So then Stassi, Katie, and Kristen are in this massive fight. I mean, they are truly screaming at each other. And Kristen yells at them, "It's none of your business." And at the same exact time, Katie and Stassi yell back, "It's all of our business. You've made it our business."
Yes.
I'm on their side.
And that's their point. The point is, it has become their business, so don't make it their business if you don't want it to be their business.
Exactly. You constantly bitch about him. You constantly tell us how you don't want to be with him, and we're there and we're supporting you. Like it's all you talk about. So we're here to help you, but now you don't want us to help you. It's like, God, that would piss me off too.
Yeah.
And still to this day, I just do not understand why the two of them are fucking together. I do not get it. Hearing what you just said about Kristen, that makes sense. What's in it for Tom?
I don't know. I think after hearing like the fallout of Tom and Ariana's relationship, I think Tom has a twisted sense in his mind that their showmance contributes to the success of the show, and it'll look bad for him if it's revealed that like they didn't work out or whatever. I think it's like perception to him for some reason.
Interesting. I could totally see that too. Very, very fair point. My last note that I have in this episode is that I noticed that if this episode taught me anything, it's that everyone can get along if they just have one common enemy. Like, think about the Cabo trip. Like, first, Sheena was the enemy. Then Katie was the enemy. Then Jax is the enemy. Then Kristen's the enemy. As long as one person is universally hated, everybody else gets along. That's so fucked up.
Yeah. What a stable group of friends.
Yeah. Well, lay it on me, Carolyn.
All right. Here we are. Episode 11. Here we go. Stassi, I didn't count it this time. I started to, then by the end I realized I had missed it. She says it's my birthday a lot, so I'm going to give her a point.
Just trust us. She says it a lot.
Trust us. I got to 5, and then I was like, done. Kristen shames Katie for crying because she's sad. I gave her a point. Stassi really shames Katie for crying because she's sad. I gave her 2 points to distinguish that Stassi went kind of crazy on her. Stassi torpedoes the night and says she's not going out because Katie ruined her birthday by being sad that her boyfriend threw a beer in her face. I gave her a point for that. Stassi melts down saying, "What's the point of being a good person? I should stick to being a bitch." That quote I thought should earn her a point. Jax then lies to Stassi about telling Stassi Ariana and Tom hooked up, which is a weird thing to do. So I gave that a point. Then Jax says, "I didn't tell her anything," when being confronted with the Tom and Ariana thing by Sheena in the boys' room, which is again a lie, so there's another point. Jax says to Kristen, he doesn't know anything about Tom and Ariana. Another point. Jax and Kristen have this conversation as if they haven't just recently slept with one another.
Literally.
I gave them both 2 points just overall for the whole episode. They both needed some recognition for that. Tom lies, saying nothing happened between him and Ariana to Kristen. I gave him 2 because I feel like he didn't get enough punishment this episode, so it's my duty to right this wrong. Kristen gives her boss an ultimatum, saying she has to fire her best bartender for her to stay at SUR. I gave that a 2. I thought that phone call was one of the most insane things I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
Jax brings 6+ girls to Stassi's birthday boat, saying he was just being polite. I gave that a 2. Ariana says if she wanted to pursue Tom, she would have. I gave that a 1, as we all know, she did. Stassi brings up the tattoo again. I hope we're near the end of this. I think
when did she? I don't even remember.
It's when I think they're at Squid Row, and she's like, I mean, he's crazy. Like 1 second you do a tattoo, and then another second you do this. It was very in passing, but you know me, I'm a stickler. She said it, so it had to go on here.
Yeah.
Jax goes back with random girls during Stassi's birthday. I just gave him a 1 because he was also doing them a favor. So, Kristen sleeps with Tom after promising she was done with him. I gave her a 1 for this only because she got so much backlash for it that I felt like that she was punished enough.
Okay, that's very nice of you.
Like Stassi and Katie shame Kristen for sleeping with Tom, which I understand the reasoning. We've totally been behind. I would have been really pissed too. But to sex shame your friend that aggressively in front of the boyfriend, I think was a lot. So I just gave them both a point. Tom yells at Katie and Stassi saying, "Don't judge," when he is lying and a piece of shit. So I gave him a point for that.
I know. I did love, we didn't even say it, that Tom is also fighting back. It's like, dude, just be quiet. Let the girls fight, okay?
Lay down, dog.
Yeah.
Lay down. All of this happened while Jax and Kristen have already hooked up. That already happened. We don't need to include that. Okay, so the running totals for this episode. Stassi got 7. It was mainly attitude points. Jax.
That's funny.
Jax is at an 8 for douche points. Sheena, she didn't really do anything here. I gave her a 0. She did incite some drama, but I felt it was justified retaliation.
Yeah, no, she's fine, actually. I agree.
Kristen only got 6 from me. I did let her a little easy here. Sandoval somehow only got 3. And this pissed me off because I was like, he deserves so much more, but I'm just going to be patient with this and his time will come.
Well, it's because he did nothing. Everything was happening around him. No one was really like holding him accountable for anything. So he really didn't get that much screen time, even though most of the episode was about him.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm just going to hope that justice prevails here because he deserves them. Schwartz got 0, Katie got 1, and Ariana got 1. So the totals now, in last place, we have Ariana with 10 points. And second to last place, we have Katie with 18 points. And third to last place, we have Schwartz with 21 points. Third runner-up, we have Sheena with 23. So Schwartz and Sheena are close. Then we have Sandoval at 34 and Stassi at 35. So interesting. Stassi and Sandoval are neck and neck. And this leaves us with Jax at 49 and Kristen at 57.
Oh my God, she's almost 10 points above Jax right now. That's actually crazy.
She's almost double Stassi. That's actually crazy too. So what a season.
It's such an interesting, just those final scores are truly such an interesting way just to see broadly who was the victim this season.
Yeah.
Who was the catalyst of it is interesting to view it that way.
Yeah. And I can't wait. When this is done, I will do the graphs and show you the trajectories here because data is power and it's fascinating.
Please and thank you. Okay, well, a quick housekeeping announcement from us at Girls Unscripted. So next week, we are just pausing. We're not done recapping Vanderpump Rules Season 1, but we're pausing so we can recap The Valley Season 2, Episode 1. And the only reason we're not doing 2 episodes is because I'm going to be at Coachella, and I don't have it in me. So we're not fully done Vanderpump Season 2, but we have to recap The Valley. That would be illegal if we didn't.
It would be really, really sad for everyone if we didn't.
Can't wait. So we'll be talking about The Valley next week, and I can't frickin' wait.
Can't freaking wait. Kate's going to get hammered in Indio and The Valley, 2 of my favorite things.
Carolyn, let me tell you something. Yesterday, you know when you like drink a lot and then you're like, I'm never drinking again.
Yes.
I literally all day yesterday was like, I might go sober the whole time I'm at Coachella.
Yep. And now you're like,
I'll be honest, the Saturday of Coachella last year, I did not drink one sip of alcohol.
really?
I'm just not like, if it's hot out and I'm like outside.
It gets you dehydrated and it's kind of uncomfortable.
And I get a headache like this.
Yeah. And the
So,
heat. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like that day I was waiting until it got later to even start drinking. And then by the time that happened, I was like, I don't really need one. Let
Yeah.
me save the money.
Yeah, exactly. And the calories.
I could
There you
literally
go.
pay off like 1 month of student loans for the cost of 2 beers at Coachella.
So valid.
So, but all right, well, then we'll talk next week. And as always, thank you guys so much for listening.
Thanks so much for listening. Rate, subscribe, share, love, enamor. We enamor you. We love you. Thank you, Gabbers. See you next time.
Bye.